Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Extraordinary Technology Conference 2017. This is really exciting. This morning, I'm going to introduce to you someone that's new to our conference, first-time speaker. I actually had a chance to talk with her last year, and it was quite an illuminating experience. Suchinta Abhayaratna. She's developed the creative and holistic techniques for self-healing. She's an associate professor at Wholeness University, where they focus on subtle energies and energy medicine. So she's going to be talking about different ways to heal yourself. They also have a research division, which could be a fantastic resource for anybody doing research in that field. So I'd like you all to give a warm welcome to Suchinta.
Am I on? Can you all hear me? Oh, yeah, loud and clear. Good morning, and thank you so much for being here so early with toothpicks in your eyes. I could use some myself. I'm delighted to have this opportunity of sharing this information on how we each can take care of ourselves using subtle energies. So, okay, let me get this. And my presentation today is on using free energy to enhance health and wellness. And I'm going to actually have you experience this. So I'm not just going to talk about it, but you're going to be part of the presentation. And so it's going to be experiential. But I think I'll have to spend a little time going over some details so we're all kind of on the same page. So, okay. So this wonderful man who has given us so much said some pretty cool things. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And of course, this is what this entire conference is about. And all this energy emanates from one... Okay. Okie dokes. Oh, no. That's all right. All right. So am I still? Okay. All this energy emanates from one single center, one single source, the sun. The sun is the spring that drives all. The sun maintains all human life and supplies all human energy. Well, everything on this planet, I guess. So, as we know, imagination was, the most important tool in the work of Tesla. And he changed how we perceived energy and include like electricity and so on, and a lot more. And he inspired thousands of others to use their imaginations to create these amazing devices that we see all around the conference hall that run on non-combustible and self-sustaining free energy. Long before I heard about Tesla, actually I heard about Tesla fairly recently, I was led to the ancient energy healing practices to deal with all kinds of issues that I had: severe joint pain, I went through cancer, I went through, I won't even mention all of them, a whole bunch of them, stroke, every allergy known to humanity. And I was amazed to find out, when I finally did hear about Tesla and his work, I was amazed at the same principles that had helped me and that had helped him to develop the free energy devices and so on, had also helped me heal and transform myself and my life. I was not expecting that, but I realized that there was some common ground there. And having gone through all of these health challenges using what I had inside of me, I did not go through conventional therapies whatsoever. And I worked my way out of cancer and the stroke and all of that by using subtle energies. And I didn't have any other, okay, I had some herbs that helped, but mostly I did this pretty much on my own steam with all kinds of little help from other people who showed up. As soon as I made that decision that I was not going to go, I was not going to poison myself further, didn't make sense to me to take like toxic substances to get rid of something else, I just managed. And for me, that was one heck of a journey. But now I've made it easier for other people to figure out how they can do this themselves. I don't knock the conventional therapies, they're there for a reason. But if you want choices, then I have, a possible, some things. But it's work, there's no question, it's work. So the Creative Holistic Integration, GEET, for acronym, I thought that was very convenient, because GEET, of course, is the Chinese word for energy. It's really about consciousness and the conscious use of subtle energies to care for, heal, and transform ourselves. Not just ourselves, but also the systems that we are a part of. And so it's like, my little saying that I say is like, the healing of one can be the healing of all. And consciousness is the key. Consciousness is the key that humans have to get through this period of time that, that we are all on this planet. And I mean, those of you who are tuned into, other forms of energy and other beings from other planets, they had this worked out a long, long, long time, way before humans even had a clue. So I'm just going to go through very quickly an overview of what this creative holistic integration thing is. Well, as it says, it's creative. It comes from consciousness. It comes from. I'm a very creative person. That's like lifeblood for me, and so it came from my imagination and my, just my experience. It's holistic in that it involves all aspects of our being, not just the physical. We are mostly tuned into the physical, but this is physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. So this approach that I use is educational, because first and foremost, I'm an educator. I started out by being a Montessori teacher. I worked with kids, but I saw that what I was doing even with them was having them experience their environment. And so the key is experience. So I'm going to give you an experience today of, some of this stuff that I'm talking about. It is self-empowering in that you are the first person that you go to when you go within to find out what the heck is going on. And in my own experience, regardless of who told me that it was all in my head, I trusted the information that I got from inside, because that's there for a reason. It's synergistic. Usually most people who are into healing will, they'll have like one thing or two things. I had the good fortune of learning so many different things in this process, and I actually use the best of everything that I have learned so far. And all of this is very quick and easy to learn and to practice, and highly effective and in a measurable way. It would be certainly subjective, but I have also done measurements objectively, and it shows very good results. So the approach is based on aligning with the whole of who you are. Often we are, as I said before, often we are focused on the physical, okay? But the way that I perceive is that the symptoms are just the messengers. They have messages, and when you get them, magically the symptoms go away. It's actually not magical. With some work, with responding to what you are experiencing, you know, and this is what I teach people. I also believe, as I'm quoting from Rumi, that the wounds are where the light can come in. Very often it's all those challenges that we face. Actually, I say your messes are your messengers. And so that's just something, when you run into some messes, just pay attention. It's really bringing our attention to what we need to do in order to evolve. This is all about evolving. It's all about moving forward. And it's also about using the internal resources that we already have. A lot of people have no idea what this stuff that they call intuition or imagination or any of those things, that's all consciousness that's coming from that place. So, as you may have figured by now, my own healing experiences have had a huge impact on how this developed. And okay, so I give you a little taste of everything that I've been through. And I do go to a doctor, but I've picked the guys who actually kind of get what I'm about. And I tell them, here's what I need from you. And if they don't get it, then I just find somebody who does. Because most people don't. They don't get this thing of going to the internal resources and so on. And of course, I was so curious from my own experiences that the next thing was I just wanted to know how this all worked. And so I spent about 20 years in in-depth study of subtle energies and energy medicine. So here is the whole system. And I know that you can't see, the little circles, but there's a reason for the circularity of all of these things, because circles, you can expand them or you can, limit them. So this is an open system, and I have each of them. Okay, and at the center of this system is what I call the Wholeness Exercise. And that's actually what I'm going to be having you experience in a bit. And this has to do, the Wholeness Exercise is all about connecting to the energy field, which are really the source energies. And also to recognize yourself as a vital part of the whole, okay? And so hopefully start thinking of yourself as not just this body, but we are more of what we don't see than what we see, okay? And so you all know, we all have thoughts. You don't see the thoughts. You all have feelings. You don't see them. You have all kinds of guidance and imagination. None of this stuff can we see. So essentially, all we can see is the least, I don't want to say least important, because it's very important, the body, but what we see is just a small percentage of who we are. So my thing is to just give you a little experience of connecting to the whole. And the whole is the energy field. And it includes the entire universe, and it includes all of Earth. That's who we are. So what we call soul or spirit is the same stuff that, it's this subtle energy. And what we call the body, our bodies are made entirely of everything that the earth is made of. So there you go, okay? And some people say we're connected to the universe and we're connected to the earth. I think it's like way more than that. We are the universe, we are the earth, and humans carry the consciousness of the earth. And I just watched a show recently that said like that water is a memory of the planet. And of course, our memory, the deeper memory, is connected to the subconscious. So in a sense, water is the subconscious of the planet, and it holds on to everything. If you have a chance, I think it's called The Secrets of Water. And if you have a chance, watch it. I watched it on Gaia TV the other day, and I was just blown away because there was all kinds of research from everyone from Masaru Emoto to there are the whole Russian studies that have been done. Just amazing. And I suddenly realized what actually helped me heal cancer was every day, 3 times a day, I got in the water. All I knew was Reiki at the time. And I went in the water, I chanted the names of the Reiki symbols, I held that consciousness, and I honestly, 3 times a day for about 20-30 minutes, it was me and the water, and I just submerged myself. And and we know that the water just holds these sounds, and I'm like, oh my, I saw this thing in the movie, and I was like, oh my God, because I always wondered how exactly that happened. The herbs were only a part of it. So anyway, my God, we have so many wonderful resources just, for free. Oh my gosh, yeah. But I think they're also finding, if you think of water as a memory of the planet, and I'm saying, well, we have memory that takes us back. I work with people who are carrying trauma from 3-4 generations ago. Where is that coming from, right? So, yeah. Okay, so the first thing, and so what I do is I teach people all of this stuff. So the first thing I teach is stress management, because we all know if you're stressed in any way, and if you are, not feeling very good, if you are sick or something, well, this is like, being sick is like one of the most stressful things ever. So the first thing is the stress management, and that wholeness exercise is a very effective stress management system. So we're combining breath, visualization, intention, grounding and centering in the whole of who we are. So that's like the first thing, and that's the first thing, that's what I'm going to actually focus on today with, and have you guys experience it. So the second thing is I teach people how to muscle test. You're not actually testing the muscles, okay, at all. How many of you have heard of this, like muscle testing? Oh, great, okay. Well, most of the time it's other people doing this on us. Like you put your hand out and then they, you have a thought and then they push your hand down if it's strong or weak. Well, I figured we don't always have somebody else. Or, so, and my thing was like, let's do some, teach people how to do self-muscle testing. It's a little bit different, but same idea. And it's a form of body-mind communication, because the subconscious mind, it's what's running our body. Okay, so when you're driving the car, right, you're digesting food, you're, breathing. Who's doing that? The subconscious is the autopilot. So, Yeah, so when we muscle test, the subconscious, so our, like the fascia of our body, in our bodies, are like the fiber optic system. It's a communication system, and so people not realizing this think that you can only do this through hypnosis or something like that. Well, we are all perfectly capable of connecting with the subconscious mind very easily anytime you want by, okay, I mean, you know how pendulums work, right? Okay, well, our bodies are kind of pendulums as well, and you can sort of program your body to go forward when it's something positive and to go backwards. Those of you who know muscle testing know all about this whole thing, but actually this is a subconscious, it's a connection with the subconscious and getting the information through the body, through positive. It's like kind of like a binary, system. Then re-energizing. I mean, if you're just kind of like no energy, and this happens when you're stressed or whatever, there are several different ways you can do this, and you can do this through just using your hands. And this is what, like, people know Reiki. Reiki actually works more with, like, even symbols. There's so many ways of doing this. I just do the easiest and the simplest, which is just using your hands on the energy centers of the body, the chakras, and also through movement like yoga and qigong. And these are all different ways that use the different forms of how we process energy. Then, oh my God, this is the coolest. So this is the vibrational healing, where you can just use your voice to tone the chakra system. Then I'll show you a little diagram later that gets a little bit into this sort of foreign term of chakras. This is it's a simple thing. And just think of the chakras as they're your energy systems. So they carry different frequencies of energy throughout your body that represent different aspects of our lives. So the flower essences, you guys have heard of like Bach flower essence. I mean, you can go to the pharmacy and get like different kinds of essences that people have come up with. Or color. I recognize you from the crystals, right? Is it you with the crystals? Somebody here. Okay, maybe not. Yeah. No? Okay, you look like the crystal person. Yeah, all of these things carry frequencies. So color, sound, number, all of that has to do with frequencies. And the toning is just the sound of your own voice. And that carries a frequency that is very specific to you. Those frequencies of your voice and the sound and so on. Okay, so you can do amazing healing work on yourself just by chanting. And I mean, there's a system that various people have developed, and I just pick a couple that work for me. Okay, the flower essences. So just think about this. Where does the color and the essence of flowers exist? Everything exists in the field, in the subtle energy field. And if you know how to do it, you can just draw it down simply by intending. You can just draw whatever you want down, because it's all there, it's all in the field. Okay, so this is like a really exciting thing that, if you don't have because what they do is you take like alcohol, like this is how the essences are made. You can have the alcohol or the distilled water and then draw the essence directly from the field. That's how they do, so you put the flower into the water, but then you say, where does the flower get it from? It's from the field. They have this ability to draw, or where do fruits get their wonderful taste? I mean, it's all out there. And that's who we are. We're all out there. We're in here and out there as well. So, okay. Okay, so now the things that I described, I'm going to go back. All of these things that we went through right now, we are all hardwired with all of it, right? This is the stuff that you already have. Okay, so I call them the tools, and you really don't have to do much other than just activate them. Okay, now we come to the thing that I am, among other things, I'm a transformational and transpersonal psychologist. And so this stuff now is the stuff that I have to, that I have formulated, and I'm not kidding, but it is so simple. It's like anything. If you know what you're doing, it's heck of a lot simpler than not knowing, right? So yeah, of course, knowledge is power. So what we figured that when anyone goes through any kind of trauma, not only you, but if somebody, like, even a generation or two ago, your ancestors have been through traumatic experiences and did not work it out, did not do the healing before they left their bodies, that the memory of that trauma remains in the system. So I have studied something called family constellations that actually you can access it. Some complete random stranger can access the energy of your, 3 times great-grandfather. Incredible, really. And to witness or to be involved in that process is just beyond anything you would even dream of. But I figured, so this trapped emotional energy release that we're talking about here is accessing, using your subconscious mind, which now has all this information, programmed into it. You can use this self-muscle testing to access the information about what is so you have a pain in your back. You can access when that pain got stuck in your body. It kind of gets stuck in your body, and then you get programmed. So then forevermore, unless you do something about it, that experience just gets replayed, okay? And just think of your experiences in your own life. You'll see that, okay, so your mother or father or teacher yelled at you in a certain way or used a certain tone of voice. If you think about it, just think about it right now, okay? Just think about some like sort of traumatic thing that happened. Not too traumatic, but just a little bit traumatic. And just notice, when you think about it, notice where it got stuck in your body. Your body will you'll get constricted or something. You feel it in your body. So here's the thing, the emotions get stuck in your body because, it's like energy. All of this is energy. When something happens, okay, you immediately, something constricts in you. And this is the fight or flight response. But the thing is, how it really gets stuck in PTSD is when you can't run or you can't fight, and you're completely incapacitated. There's nothing you can do. Somebody yells at you, you can't punch them. Okay, usually, especially with kids, you can't punch your parents, right? Even though you may feel like it. You become incapacitated, you lose your power, and that constricts the energy, and that gets stuck in the muscles. So all this pain that we experience physically, there's always an emotional component to that, emotional or spiritual or mental. So okay, this is what I mean okay. So that's one of the things that I teach people. And these are things that I work with them and teach them. The other part, the tools, I put in a book. So the other thing we can do is, like, regardless of what has happened, okay, let's say something happened as a kid. You're not stuck with that for the rest of your life. And you're also not stuck with what happened to your ancestors or what happened in your childhood. You can access, because all of that is programmed into your subconscious mind. We are the bosses of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is simply a recording device, okay? So it's like you can turn the radio on to whatever channel, or you can turn the thing on and get your music. Same thing. You can turn it on and off, but you need to know what to do. And that's where I come in. Okay. Okay, and here's the family constellations. There's a group process in which you have the group kind of hold space and access through the field, access this energy of trauma from whoever in the past. And in this process, you're witnessing and you're watching, and you get your own insights as to what the heck is going on with you. So I actually I lived in Kenya for a while, and I had the good fortune of learning this process. But when I got back to the States, people didn't really know about it so much. And I just kind of, I do a lot of connection with the field. I was like, okay, give me a process that people can do. I was like, if some random person can access your great-grandfather, you sure as heck can do that yourself, because you're already, it's in your DNA, it's in your energy field. So yeah, then I just, developed something called the generational and ancestral process, and to date, every single person that I've done it with has totally accessed it and was able to understand what was going on. And it's a beautiful process in which it's the compassion, because you've been through these experiences yourself, so you can be compassionate to your ancestor who went through whatever their trauma was. And just the love, and I mean, it's an amazing thing to see how love and compassion can, like, seriously heal a whole system of people. Okay, obviously we're not going to do all of that today, but if you're interested, you know where to find me. Okay, I also do work with mandalas, which are circular structures in which you're meditating, and you ask, it's a special mandala, I mean, the mandala, you can do mandalas with anything, but this one involves consciousness and intention, and like, what is it that you want to heal within yourself, or how do you want to transform? You set the intention, and then you work with it's a like beautiful artwork. It doesn't even have to be beautiful art. You have to do it, and you create your own, and then you meditate on. Then you just meditate and reflect on it. I'm just going through. I mean, these are. This is like. There's several versions of this that I teach people, and it's just a really beautiful process for sure. Okay, so now we're getting to the wholeness exercise, and this is, as I said, this is about reclaiming the whole of who you are and being one with the whole and bringing all those parts of us together. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, this is remembering to the whole, because life, just being born is a fragmenting experience. And in the moments of wholeness, I mean, you feel the difference. So, okay. And this is the Torus mandala that I did this as a mandala of wholeness. And so, yeah, and I didn't even think about the Torus when I did it, but when I did it, I'm like, oh my God, that's a Torus. Okay, and how I felt when I did the visualization and I did the exercise, yeah, I mean, I've done several versions of this, but I figured that all the versions of it that I did was connected to the torus, was connected to bringing the energy in, bringing the energy back up, and so on. We're going to do this. So this is the part that we're going to experience this, and experience remembering. Okay, so we're going to use imagination, breath, and a focus phrase, which is, in Sanskrit it was called mantras. It's the same thing over and over again. And it kind of keeps your conscious mind busy while we're working. We're just in the experience, in that moment, okay? And just the mantra just helps your conscious mind not wander into other things. So, just to explain, the term mandala means circle in Sanskrit. And also, there's a deeper meaning that is a container of essence. And I really like that, and so the essence that we're talking about here is the essence of wholeness. Okay, so now, I love this. So see how can you see that little like stuff moving? So think of yourself as you're in the middle and you're breathing. You can see everything is a torus, right? I mean, we all know this. So you're breathing in from the toroidal energy pattern of the universe. You're breathing that. It's actually, I'm not so good at, I did all of this myself, but I didn't know how to kind of superimpose one thing into another. So I just had to do them in layers. So if you can imagine that like the universal torus is like part of the whole thing, which should be, I'll get to that someday, around, and then the earth is sort of like a little speck in that, and then you would be like in the center of that, okay? That's exactly how we're going to do it. But this kind of gives an idea. And so you're going to be like breathing in from the top of your head into your heart, and then out through the root, your legs, into the earth, and then bringing it back up. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a little quick overview of what you'll be doing, so so we can get right to it. So you're going to inhale from the top of your head into your heart, from the center of the body. Then exhale from your heart into the root of your body, the root chakra, which is like the genital areas, and the legs are also roots, except unlike trees, we can kind of walk around on our roots. And then you're exhaling into what you would think of as the heart of the earth. We know that there is some sort of, I think it's the Heart Math Institute or somebody discovered that there's actually like a heartbeat that comes from the earth that can be registered. So, and then again, you're going to inhale from the earth, filling the bottom half of your mandala, and then you're going to exhale out the top. And so you're just filling that. Okay, and what we are inhaling and exhaling is light energy. And as you know, we are all made of light. We are just, and when things are not good, we are just light blocking light. How amazing is that? So, yeah. Okay, so here's the whole deal. Inhale from the top of your head, exhale from the heart into the root and into the heart of the earth. Inhale from the earth, filling the outside of the mandala. And, okay, so you're just, okay. Recognize that you are a torus yourself, and that's why this kind of exercise is giving you the non-combustible energy. It also gives you amazing ability to clean out, to detoxify through your breath, okay? So, yeah, so there are two ways that you can do this. The term Soham is an ancient breath meditation mantra. It's a little bit complicated, but I was okay, well, let's keep it simple. So that's your first option, is to breathe in So and breathe out Hum. Okay, whenever you're breathing, breathe. Okay, and the translation of this is I am that. Okay, not I'm connected to that, I am that. It's a big difference of just being connected and being it. And so the meaning of I am that is that no matter what you're looking at, no matter what you're experiencing, you are that. Okay, so when you think about this, when we're looking at each other, we're looking at ourselves. That consciousness can completely change, can change us, can change the world, can change relationships. Okay, so now I'm going to, whoa, what did I do? Okay, so just think of how do you feel right now? Okay, and so now this is a little science here that you're going to assess how you feel. This is actually the subjective units of disturbance scale. If 0 is the best possible and 10 is the worst possible, what number are you at now? Just note that, and just if you are likely to forget, write it down, or just hold that number in your mind. Okay, so now we're going into, I put a little recording thing there, but I'm going to read it because then I can see where you guys are at and we can do this so I don't want you to get rushed or in any way. Okay, so if you have assessed where you're at, okay, so now close your eyes and visualize yourself at the center of a big black circle. And position yourself so that that your heart is at the very center of that circle. And of course, your heart is at the very center of you. And inhale and exhale slowly and deeply, as if through your heart, just a few times, like say 5 times, 5 or 6 times. And be aware that as you breathe in, you receive energy from all that is around you, from the entire field. And from your first breath to your last, your life is a series of giving and receiving energy. And with each breath, focus deeper and deeper into the heart center. And as you take, okay, just so do that about 5 times. And give you time to do that. Just continue to breathe slowly and deeply, going deeper and deeper each breath. And now take even a deeper breath in. And when you exhale, send an explosion of light into the black circle. And the lights stick to the blackness like stars. And each light is a sun surrounded by its own family of planets. Your universe, your energy field. And now breathe in that light, your own light, that is the light of the universe. Breathe that in from the top of your head, through the central channel of your body, into your heart. and out through the soles of your feet into the heart of Earth. And now breathe in Earth energy up from the outside of your body, filling the bottom half of your circle up to the heart. And breathe out from your heart, filling the upper part of the circle with that light, and send it up to the great light above you. And you would recognize, just continue to breathe in this pattern, breathing in from the top of your head through the central channel, out into the heart of Earth, breathing it back up. So now you are the Taurus. You have always been the Taurus. We all are. Each of us is a Taurus, intersecting with other Tauruses. And as you breathe in, that energy reaches the smallest cell, right down to the atom, right down to the photons. All our cells, our bodies, our earth, and everything, including the multiverses, are all Tauruses of different sizes. And as you breathe in, I am. And as you exhale that. Or you can inhale so, and exhale hum. And just continue this breath pattern and the mantra slowly and deeply, and we'll just do this for just like 2 or 3 minutes, or even less, but just continue that. And take an extra deep breath now. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. You may not feel like opening your eyes, but just allow yourself to slowly come back to where we are in this room. And just observe how you feel now. And just compare, with the SUD scale, observe yourself. If 0 is the best and 10 is the worst, where are you at right now? Okay. And just give yourself a little time to get back. Because you are probably out there floating among the stars. And if your number changed, raise your hand. Let's have a show of hands. If you went from, okay. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Yeah, and you know what? It never fails. So this is something that you can do at any time, and I really recommend that you do this several times a day. Now that you already got your mandala together, okay, anytime. And you don't have to wait until you're stressed. If you are stressed, just slowly start breathing and you don't have to, you've already created your universe, okay? It's already there. And your subconscious mind totally gets it. It remembers that, okay? And it remembers this feeling that you already had of changing the number. So you can do this, and I really recommend doing this several times a day, and you cannot imagine how your life will change. Honestly, I've seen it happen. It's changed my life, and I've seen a lot of my clients how, we're not talking like it's not going to take like even half a year. Within months, people's lives change, and all kinds of things. And the reason why is that you are recognizing and being the Taurus that you are. You're recognizing the whole of who you are. You're recognizing yourself as the sun, as the earth, as each other. I cannot even begin to tell you the power of that. Okay, so you just remembered. That's who you are. So now I'm going to just kind of explain why this all happened, and this is going to take less time then. Don't you love that? Like, I love the graphic. Okay, so the Taurus is really, you guys probably know this, even better than I do, because you've been involved in this for a while. It's a fundamental geometry of the universe, and very intimately connected with the essence of our very existence. Stable, it's a self-organizing and self-sustaining structure, energetic structure, expanding around itself and returning to its center. And the energy is not lost, not combusted. And this is you. This is the essence of who you are, is this, and this is what makes like the Tesla cars run. It makes all of this stuff work. And this makes you work, and you can consciously now do this. And you don't even need a handout. You already did it, your subconscious mind knows. Simply start doing the breathing. Okay, and you can see this is what connects us all. It's this pattern of energy that we all share. Okay, whether you're a fruit or a seed, it's all there. Or the earth or a tree. There's another wholeness exercise that when I first did it, I did it with the tree. And I actually experienced this with my back against a tree. And when I did that, I'm not kidding, but something in me just like shut up into space, and I felt like I was an astronaut. This kind of thing doesn't happen to me every day. But when I did, and that was that moment I thought, oh my God. Okay, and that was the beginning of all of this for me. Okay, so you just experience yourself as the Taurus, consciously breathing, and and those things in the middle, those are the chakras. And you see, there's an artist called Alex Gray who came up with these amazing drawings of energy. So those little lit up things in the middle are the chakras, and these lines are sort of like the meridians of the body. But this is a picture of the energy body. And if you can think of, they're not just like dots, but they're actually like the latitudes of the earth. There are these, so in the center is the heart. That's where you would think the equator would be. That's the heart. So we reflect the earth in every, in all these aspects. And the people who came up with this stuff, like the meridians and stuff, they somehow, I think they just intuited they figured that something was going on that, had these lines of energy. So there we are again. The whole system is the galaxy. Actually the multiverses, the galaxy, the soul. We are all part of the same thing. And we are all moving in this, energy is moving exactly the same way, but at different frequencies. And our frequency, ideally, is, I think, the frequency of the earth. And there's a number, numbers don't stick in my head. And have you guys heard of a physicist called Nassim Haramein? I love this guy. And he refers to this central channel as the black hole. Yeah, we're almost done. And yeah, so we're just going to run through these. Really, there's nothing much to say other than just look at the pictures. Okay, so here are the chakras. Here's that central channel of the body where, the latitudes of the body are the chakras. And then you can see, if you line them up with the endocrine system, the endocrine glands, exactly. They knew somehow. They didn't know what they were, but they knew there's something. And each of those chakras have a different frequency that relate to different aspects of of life. So the 7th chakra is spirituality and consciousness. 6th chakra is sight, insight, executive function, the frontal lobe of the brain. Chakra 5 is the throat, which is our expression. And then the heart is like all the best things and the worst things. All right, the heart. So the opposite of this, like if your heart is, not well, it'll be the cause would be the opposite of this. Chakra 3 is your personal power and will, which also connects to the all the organs of the immune system. Organs and glands are in that solar plexus. And the Sacral Chakra is relationships, creativity, and for women, we carry our babies right here. We partake in the process of creation. And then Chakra 1, the root, connects to like childhood, your origins, ancestral, family, tribe, culture, all of those things that we are raised in. Okay, so all of this didn't really begin with it, but I did, for my doctoral study at Wholeness University Graduate Seminary, I actually tested the effect of the wholeness exercise. I'm originally from Sri Lanka, so in 2004 when the tsunami happened, it hit me. I was living in Virginia and it hit me like as if it happened in my backyard. And I figured that I would, can you see the green line? Okay, well, let me point to that. I think it's like that, okay? Yeah, that green is not showing very well. But anyway, when I did this, I worked with like 12 to 24-year-olds who had lost close family, like grandparents and parents and siblings, but mostly parents. And they also lost their home. So that was my criteria for inclusion, was they had lost like very close family and homes. And when they did this, we saw that very quickly they went from the coherence, so they started out being like very low coherence and then just went up. And then when I measured after, like 5 minutes or something, it had come down, but not to the same levels that they were before, okay? So it actually had a longer lasting effect. This was a control group. That not much happened there, just like a little, it actually like went down and then went up just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, and I had the same exact results when I was living in Kenya and working with cancer patients. I did the same kind of measurement, just on a regular basis, and then kind of collated all the data, and it all happened. So I figured no matter what the trauma is, this works no matter what the situation is. And here, okay, then I also looked at the perceptions and used the SUD scale, 0 is the best and the 10 is the worst, to see the perceptions of well-being. And as you can you see can you guys see the green? Okay, all right. So yeah, so oh God, no, wrong thing. Okay, okay. So I looked at the perceptions of well-being, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and there was like the same set of questions I asked all of them. And the intervention group started out like really close to 10, and then went down, and then, interestingly, even when we had finished the thing, it went further down. That was fascinating, that their perceptions were, you know, better than their like the physical showed. Okay, all right, next slide. Okay, and here's the emotional, same thing, just kept going down. And even the control group went down a little bit. And the mental, the control group got like worse. I mean, and the control group just sat there doing like nothing in particular. They were just breathing normally. And the other guys did the wholeness exercise, the intervention group. Okay, so yeah, you can see just across the board, there was a vast improvement. So just very quickly, we're just going to go through. You are whole, even when you feel fragmented. That fragmentation and imbalance means that just you are being called to be yourself and get back in balance. So when you're feeling like, you know, disturbed, just do the wholeness exercise and it'll bring you back to yourself. That we are, you know, we are parts of like a greater whole systems, family, community, and so on, and earth and universe and everything. And you're an organic system made up of smaller wholes, because we have an entire universe inside of us, as much as you have it outside. And every system reflects the greater and smaller systems that we are part of and are part of us, as above, so below, etc. Okay, you are everything and everything is you. Isn't there a song like that? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this because there's something I want to do before we quit. Okay, these are just, you know. Okay, this is an important part. The consciousness of all humanity is reflected in you and your cells. Think of what is going on right now, everywhere in the world, and think of what you are going through in your own life. Just you know, reflect. And our consciousness affects all of humanity. We're just like cells in the body. One cell is going to affect every other cell. Remember, I have one quick thing that I just read this from something called the Radiant Sutras. And I just said I want to share this with you guys. So, this I got about 4 days ago. I read these things every morning. Okay, so these practices are a nectar I share with you. Drink from this cup whenever you are thirsty or crave to be refreshed in the essence of life. Know that this ambrosia is available to you everywhere, for the universe is made out of it. Simply go to the intersection of flesh and spirit. Breathe the tiny sparks that fly. Within this very body are many gateways to the infinite, where incarnation and immortality consummate their passion for each other. And this is from the Radiant Sutras, which is called, I think it's called the Bhairava. And it's a conversation that's taking place between Shiva and Shakti. And with that, are there any questions?
Thank you very much, Suchinta. If you have questions, please come on up to the green square. Thank you very much for your presentation. It was very enlightening and beautifully presented. We really appreciate that. I love the idea of tying in consciousness and spirit and tying that in with the technologies that we work with. I've seen that time and again, how As we move into the more etheric-based technologies, it's more and more affected by the consciousness of the people that use it, and so this will become more and more important. It won't be as easy as flipping a switch. Eventually, we'll do it with our mind in many ways. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking a short break. I have some more door prizes that I'll be giving out, and I'll announce that about